Today's session is about an overview of the Indian steel sector. We have listened to Mr. Ashwini Kumar from the Ministry of Steel yesterday. He had talked about various aspects in the steel industry. So today's topic is my take on the steel sector. I will begin with basically four points are on the agenda, which I will discuss in the subsequent discussions. So if we look at the Indian steel structure, we are the second largest consumer of finished steel in the world. Of course, China is the number one. And consumption of around 106 million metric tons per year. Now, per capita steel consumption is, global average is around 230 something kg per capita, where India stands at 77. Now I should get myself corrected. It is 94, which I learned in the today's expert committee meeting. So it's a good growth, and it has gone up by 50% in the last around 8 years or so. China consumes the highest, around 646 kg, and growth is around 11% or so in that coming, we can project in the coming 5 or 7 years. So compared to the other choice of material of construction, which is cement, it stands, the ratio stands at around 70-30, 70 in the favor of concrete, or rather cement and its associated materials, which we would like to reverse it. We'd like to make it 30-70, that means 70% should be in steel in the coming years, or at least it should begin with 50-50. Coming to the material segment, I have displayed a table wherein we can see the materials and the product portfolio which is available in the country. So it talks about house builders, we use rebars, doors, windows. This is about steel, roofing sheets, plumbing, pipes, tubes, wires. These are the predominant products which are used in house real estate. For corporate and government bodies, we are using prefabricated houses. Yes, it has begun. And water kiosks, we have seen water ATMs. These are all modular ATMs. Then modular toilets in the Swachh Bharat Mission 1 and now in the Swachh Bharat Mission 2. We are encouraging modular toilets which are easy to maintain and which give a longer life, and they are hygienic also. Office cabins, warehouse, yes, warehouses have been in pre-engineered buildings. They have been there and they will continue to be there. Rooftop houses are there, solar panels are there. Then EV charging stations have come up and in large numbers. And also in smart city projects, the consumption of steel is being maximized. Custom pipes are also made available with special grade of materials, alloy steel and all. For the infrastructure, of course, TMT bars and structural steel are the main choice of material. Apart from that, in precast concrete, we use PC precast strands. And in railway industry, we have good amount of use of steel. We are using HR plates, checkered plates, as well as plate bill plates. These are in high consumption. For other areas, we have seen, as in the last previous session, we have seen the cut and bend bars being made by Tata Steel. So these are readily available, and also now they have come up with welded wire mesh for floorings, industrial floorings. It's a good step. Of course, walking and fencing needs are in steel nowadays. HVAC ducting is there, which is in the most of the places they are being used. And false ceiling segments are there. Doors and windows, of course, already there. Coming to the policies which are there to boost the demand in steel, we can talk about smart cities and affordable housing schemes of the government, and around 158 lakh metric tons is targeted to be consumed in the PMAY, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. And there is a national infrastructure pipeline which talks about almost maximizing the use of steel in housing as well as healthcare, energy, transportation for boosting the economic growth. And the investment is about 1900 US billion dollars, about 1.5 lakh crores. So this is as per the latest, you can visit the NIP portal of Government of India, which is real time, and it shows that the thrust which is given by the government towards consumption of steel. Amrit scheme has been there since long, which also talks about the development of basic city infrastructure and lot of water supply, sewage and seepage treatment measurements are there. Green spaces, parks, non-motorized pathways. There also we are using steel as a, in the parks, various public facilities are in steel, and in the pathways we have sunshades made out of steel. So these all boost the demand of steel in the country. Now there is a PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, which was launched around two years back, which talks about multimodal connectivity and special economic zones in the country, which encompass seamless mobility and connectivity, like we can see multimodal hubs where airport, metro, railways, and sometimes waterways, they are connected at a single location. Jal Jeevan Mission also targets drinking water supply to every household by this year end, in which a huge amount of steel is going to be used by making steel tanks and the staging and all for the supply of drinking water. Pipes will also be there for rural India. Udan scheme talks about development of airports and tier 3, tier 2, tier 3 cities. A lot of airports would be coming. Also, RLDA, the Rail Land Development Authority, is also into development of railway stations. They are making it under PPP mode, wherein it will be a hub of various, apart from railways, various public amenities and facilities will be there, like malls and hotels will be there. The Construction Industry Development Council, CIDC, has also come up with a high-powered working group which would be working on enhancing the consumption of steel in India in the infrastructure. I am a part of that. And today morning, we also had a very fruitful meeting of the expert committee just before this session, wherein all the stakeholders have given their valuable feedback, shared the valuable feedback, and shared it with Mr. Ashwini Kumarji from the Ministry of Steel. Now, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, MoHUA, has also come up with a Global Housing Technology Challenge, wherein around 8 to 9 technologies they have selected. And regarding steel, this is the one which uses LGSF technology, light gauge framing system, wherein around 1,000 dwelling units have been made, already constructed, G+6 story construction in Agartala, Tripura, which is a high seismic zone area. And now similar models we have to scale up to the maximum, wherein we can take advantage of the steel. So government is doing their bit to enhance the use and consumption and ease of using steel. Now, framed structures construction in steel, like this LGSF, is a pre-engineered construction, which is frame is already built in the factory and only assembled at the site. This is very low. It's around only 10% in India as compared to 80% it is in the European countries. Further, I would like to sum up with my take on the 4 key aspects, which is our commitments towards the planet, which talks about sustainable development goals, our Panchamrit, which is given by our Honorable Prime Minister in the COP26, the circularity, the circular economy, which is to be built in steel industry, as well as it will be more useful when the framework on carbon credits and trading becomes operational. Next comes about the ease of use of steel, material of steel as a choice of material, in which BIS is also coming up with the code on pre-engineered buildings and associated things. Also, we need a lot of modularization as is happening in concrete. We have seen 2D precast, 3D precast, volumetric, prefabricated, pre-finished construction in concrete. Same thing should happen in steel, wherein pre-engineered, prefabricated modules are available just as a plug-and-play commodity. Like we should call it design for manufacturing, DFMA we call it, design for manufacturing and assembly. So ready-made modules should become available wherein user has to just plug and play. And the third is the codal provisions. The code authorities should also gear up for making specifications for use in steel, wherein we can have, I'm part of BIS and all of us are also, many of us are part of BIS committees. Then third is the technology part. And nowadays, I have seen many of the tenders are being technology neutral. That means they don't talk about the material of construction. They talk about more on the functional requirements, wherein choice of material is left onto the consultant or the architect. So this is the way in which steel can be promoted. And again, GFR permits, instead of L1 system, we can go for QCBS, wherein around 60 to 70% can go on the technology and rest towards commercial aspects. Then fourth is the main, which we can call derailer or the enemy of the steel, which is corrosion and fire. So in the expert committee today morning, we have learnt about that steel is, the manufacturers are putting their efforts towards making it corrosion resistant, inherently corrosion resistant, as well as fire resistant. So once we take up these four challenges, I am sure we will be able to contribute our bit towards increase in steel consumption in the Indian industry. These are some of the references, and thank you.